So La Strada de Pastelli Chalk Art Festival started in Beaverton in 2019, and it's an annual chalk art festival produced by 2D4D, which is a nonprofit arts organization. And it really came with me when I moved from San Diego. I'm a chalk artist. I travel around the country doing chalk art. And when I moved to Beaverton in 2015, I said, we could have an event like this. We could have a large public free art festival like this. In our town in Beaverton, we have so many amazing resources, we have so many artists and so many creators in the area. And after a few years of talking about it, what it could be, what it does for the community, it was me and a fellow arts commissioner, Shelley Fagan, who I took down to another chalk festival. And on our drive home, we said, yeah, no, this needs to happen. I'd say 2018, when we really started putting some pieces together. And by spring 2019, we found a venue. And by that summer, 2019, August, we had our very first La Strada de Pastelli, and we were hosted by Cedar Hills Crossing, which is a local mall. Within our first year, we had 7,300 attendees. And that was really the catalyst to say that, yes, an event like this is really important to our community, and we want to keep having it.
These events are really important to Beaverton because it's one thing to talk about diversity, it's another to have it go in action, right? When we talk about having a night market, this really came out of the Diversity Advisories Board and their recommendation around wanting to feel culture and wanting to feel welcomed. And we do this the best over food. And so this is what we did. We brought a food event right here to Beaverton.
I'm Kevin Teeter. I am the Executive Director of the Beaverton Downtown Association, and our organization helped facilitating some of the conversations between the Beaverton Night Market and the La Strada Chalk Art Festival. So downtown Beaverton has been here several decades, a century now, and yet it lacks much of a noticeable identity about it. Like if you're downtown, you don't always know what's connected to downtown. And events like this help create more of that creative identity where people come here and they know, wow, I am in downtown Beaverton. Like, look at all these great shops and restaurants and all these great activities and beautiful art and international vendors. And it just makes it so much more of an exciting and dynamic community. There are so many businesses here that are owned by immigrants and refugees and people who don't speak English as a first language and people who are representing so many different cultures and ethnicities and people who create so many different types of food and craft. And it makes us such a unique and special district. And we want to help keep it that way. And events like this that highlight that diversity and that really help the broader Beaverton community know what's here are so valuable. Because we want these businesses and these organizations here to be able to grow and thrive and stay here. And in order to do that, people need to know about them. So one of the great benefits of these events, the night market and La Strada, is that people come here for the events, but when they're walking around, they'll say, oh, wow, I never knew that business was here, or oh, wow, I need to come back for that. Really highlighting that diversity and the value of the community that they add.
Hi, I'm Mark Fagan. I'm one of the city councilors here in Beaverton. I've been on the city council for 9 years. Events like the Beaverton Night Market and La Strada are just incredible things for our community because they bring people out. And creating a place and creating community is something that is difficult to do, but the arts are something that pretty much everyone can find something that they like about. I was fortunate enough, I got to be the city councilor that was the liaison with the Diversity Advisory Board their first year. So I remember sitting around the table and having them ask, well, if we did a night market, do you think the city would support it? And it was a lot of fun because we kind of said, hey, if it's in the diversity, equity, and inclusion plan, we can do it. And so we've been able to do that event for a number of years now. It's extremely popular, brings out the whole community. I absolutely love that event. And then Strada is one that is near and dear to me personally as well. My wife's an artist. We have 2 kids that we put through art school, and art's really important in my house. So to see a chalk festival grow, where you started out as an idea and then you start bringing in people from all over the country, you get our community starts to see the quality and the variety of different chalk art. It's fantastic.
We are really excited to have both of these events here. Personally, I love walking around and seeing these 3D chalk art designs where you can look at them and you can feel like the faces or the books or the creatures or whatever is there actually coming out of the ground at you. And it's chalk. Like, this won't be here forever, so the time is now. You got to come and see it for yourself. And the night market is similar. It's like there's so much good food, so much good craft, like so many amazing people and places that I would not have had the opportunity to meet and get to know without this night market here. And so I am so excited to be able to attend these events and to see it for myself.
I think all of us across the globe know what happened in 2020. And Strada de Pastelli, we actually worked with videographers, and we were still able to commission chalk artists here in Beaverton area. And we did a video montage for our 2020 Strada. And we, along with the production side of things, of having the chalk artists, we also did social media campaigning. And we encouraged our local youth to draw in their own driveways and send in their photos. And we did that all in a video montage. And then working with many of our local businesses, we had them broadcast that video in their own shops and retail stores and on their monitors. And so we created a very virtual event for 2020, and we're excited to be out in the public's eye for 2021 again.
So this year we've got 2 wonderful events that stand really well on their own, but together I think it'll be a really good thing to do, especially at this time where I think most of our community's been missing being able to get together, and now we can do it safely outside.
Hi, my name is Sharon Chan. I'm from Santa Barbara, California. This is my first time at the night market, but my second time at Strada. I was here in 2019. And I really enjoy night markets because there's always fabulous food. And I enjoy chalk art because it gives me a chance to interact with the public. They ask questions. They ask, what are you working on? Is that oil pastel or dry pastel? And I get to explain what's going on. And I really enjoy hanging out with my friends as well. That's really a big part of it. I feel night markets are important as far as introducing different kinds of culture to people. As far as the Los Angeles-based night markets, it's usually more either Hispanic or Asian in flavor. And these are some of the things that normally people don't get to try or eat. And there's usually crazy, wacky food that people are like, what is that? But they get to try it because it's not a big investment like a restaurant. You know, you can just try little nibbles of it and stuff. And it's always fun to try different foods and see what people have in different countries.
Beaverton's a really diverse community. In our public schools, we have about 99 different languages that are spoken in the homes of the students. About 1 in 5 residents was not born in the United States. And it creates a wonderful, really rich community with a variety of different backgrounds. And what that does, I think, for most of us that live here, is it provides opportunities to get to know and understand different cultures. It makes it so we have to be really aware of the fact that our community has changed and is different. And we need to do things differently than we have always done them in the past. And I think Beaverton's listening. I think we're doing a good job at that. And I think it's evident in a lot of the events and planning that we're doing right now.
Doing chalk in the public eye and in the public arena is a really old tradition. Starting in Italy about the 1600s, the artists who were working on larger commissions, interior spaces, doing murals and doing commissions, what they found was then they would do the drawings they were doing inside, outside. They would use different materials, pastels, charcoal, clay, different pigments, and they would draw what they were doing inside, recreated on the outside, and literally brought the art to the people. As that continued century after century, and we saw it move through Western Europe up into London, they changed names, and then as that was brought to the United States, about 35, 40 years ago, this tradition, we call our United States chalk artists street painters. And so it has always been about bringing the art to the people, about using a very ephemeral media and recreating bold, dramatic masterpieces on an everyday surface.
Well, I think it's important that these events align with our vision because we can't do it all alone, right? Government does what government does, and we need outside people and groups to come to us with ideas, to come to us with ideas that make Beaverton a better place to live. And the night market and the Chalk Festival are a great example of that. And what we can do is partner a little bit with money. We can bring in our event staff. We can provide really cool public spaces, but we can't run the events. We don't have expertise in running night markets. We don't have expertise in bringing in artists to do chalk stuff, but community members do. And this is the best of government, is when we partner with agencies like this to do cool things.
My name is Susan Charnquist. I'm from Beaverton, Oregon. What I enjoy most about doing chalk events is it's an unusual opportunity for people to witness artists in the process of making art, as opposed to, showing up at a gallery or watching something on YouTube. You can be right there while the process is happening, and people can ask questions, and you have a lot of interaction, and you're available to kind of talk about the process of art and how you go about creating it.
I started talking a little bit about how the night market evolved from its roots, right? It was an idea, and it was just this wonderful, I describe it as this magic moment where you have a group of volunteers sitting around a table, and I was fortunate enough to be with them, and they were talking about things from their home countries that they missed. And one of the things that came up a couple of times was the night market. And there were night markets, and there are night markets all over the world that are family events. And families go and enjoy being outdoors together, eating, listening to music, and creating community. We did the first night market in a really tight space, thinking that, it's going to bring out a few hundred people. And I think that first year we ended up with like 5,000 people that showed up. So the space was way too small. It was cram-packed, but it was wonderful. And it's really becoming an important part of the community. And people are looking forward to it.
Because 2D4D, who produces this event, is a nonprofit, we do a lot of work with our fellow nonprofits, and we invite them to be vendors at our event. And we just say, come, talk about what you do, have a hands-on activity. This is a family event. This Chalk Festival is completely unique from any other festival that's offered in our 3 county areas. And it's because it is built on the back of very caliber professional chalk artists.